I want to give you a procedural outline of buying a home in New Jersey. The first thing you want to do is obviously find a home to purchase. That's why it's important to retain a realtor, a real estate agent in New Jersey. He or she is able to find the home of your dreams. Once you contact a realtor, look at the various homes, decide on a home that you want and desire, you will present an offer to the seller and hopefully your offer is then accepted. The way you present your offer to a seller is by signing the New Jersey Realtor Standard Contract. This signed contract by the buyer will be presented to the seller. If the seller accepts your offer, the sellers will then sign the contract. At this point, the contracts are then provided to the respective attorneys involved. As a buyer's attorney, there will be modifications that I want to make to the contract to better protect my clients. Similarly, the seller's attorney will do likewise. Once you conclude attorney review, you'll then have a binding contract. The buyer is able to schedule a home inspection, at which point in time, a home inspector will be sent to the property to perform a general inspection. Some of the other inspections that occur at that time are wood destroying insect inspection and a radon inspection as well. The seller should also contact the township. One obligation a seller has is to secure the required township certification required for resale of the property. This is usually in the form of what's called a certificate of occupancy or a smoke detector certification. These are required for resale, so it is a seller obligation to secure the required township certification. Once the buyer performs a home inspection, the inspection report should be forwarded to the buyer's attorney, at which point in time a buyer's attorney will forward the report along with a repair request to the seller's attorney. The buyer has a right to demand the seller address any non-cosmetic repair issues. Now, these requests are discretionary. There's never an obligation for the seller to perform any repairs. However, a buyer is legally able to void the contract under the inspection clause if there are unresolved issues. A request must be made to the seller prior to canceling any contract. A buyer does not unilaterally have a right to cancel the contract based on a buyer's dissatisfaction with the inspection results. A seller must always be provided with an opportunity to address the issues. The next step once inspections are completed is really for the buyer to secure a mortgage commitment. This will confirm that the buyer and property have been approved by the lender and the lender has agreed to provide financing to the buyer for the transaction. This is evidenced by receipt of a written mortgage commitment, which should be provided to the buyer's attorney, who in turn will forward to the seller's attorney and the realtors involved. The mortgage contingency is again a contingency that has to be satisfied in order for the buyer to complete the necessary requirements to approach the closing. Once a mortgage commitment is obtained, once the underwriter clears the loan for closing, a closing date and time will be scheduled. Closings will typically occur at the buyer's attorney's office, at which point the buyer's attorney will go through the paperwork with the buyers, go through all loan paperwork, association paperwork, warranty paperwork, whatever might apply to this particular transaction. Typically, the closings will take 45 minutes to an hour, at which time all the documentation is signed. The buyer's attorney will have the documents from the seller side, which will effectuate the transfer of title to the buyer. Keys are also provided at that time to the buyer as well.